In 1760, as George III ascended the British throne, a powerful song echoed across the island nation. "Rule Britannia, rule the waves, Britons never will be slaves." The words sounded triumphant, confident, inevitable. Britain believed it was destined to rule the world. But just a few years earlier, that confidence had been close to collapse. Britain was fighting France in a global war, across Europe, the oceans, India, and the vast wilderness of North America. The war began quietly, deep in the American forests, when a young colonial officer named George Washington led a small force against French troops. That skirmish lit a fire that would consume empires. At first, Britain failed, badly. British generals marched confidently into unfamiliar terrain and were destroyed. Armies were lost, forts surrendered, fleets defeated. One admiral, accused of cowardice, was executed by firing squad to encourage the others. British pride was bleeding away with every defeat. By 1757, Britain was desperate. That was when William Pitt took control. Pitt was not a cautious man. He was bold, emotional, and convinced of Britain's destiny. He believed the empire could only survive by thinking globally and striking decisively. Instead of wasting resources across Europe, Pitt made a revolutionary decision. America would be the main battlefield. The Royal Navy would choke France's supply lines. Allies would fight in Europe. Britain would dominate overseas. It was a gamble, and it worked. British forces stormed the French fortress of Louisbourg, opening the gateway to Canada. Fort after fort fell. In 1758, British troops captured Fort Duquesne, renaming it Pittsburgh in honor of Pitt himself. Then came 1759, the year Britain would later call the Wonderful Year. At sea, the Royal Navy crushed the French fleet at Quiberon Bay, sealing France's fate in North America. In the Caribbean, valuable sugar islands surrendered. In India, British forces dismantled French influence. And finally, on a cold plateau outside Quebec, the Plains of Abraham, British General James Wolfe faced the French commander Montcalm. The battle lasted minutes. Both generals died. But Britain won. With that victory, French power in North America ended forever. By 1760, Britain stood as the greatest empire the world had ever seen. Yet strangely, Europe did not admire Britain. French elites looked down on the English as crude, uncultured, obsessed with money and war. France, not Britain, was considered the heart of civilization. Its art, philosophy, fashion, and science admired everywhere. But beneath the elegance, France was weak. Britain had something more powerful than culture: money industry ships organization. Borrow, build, and fight endlessly. Its financial system funded massive armies and fleets. Its navy ruled the seas. Its trade reached every corner of the globe. Still, British society itself was deeply divided. Public executions were entertainment. Crime, poverty, disease, and filth filled cities and villages. Gin addiction destroyed families. Meanwhile, aristocrats lived comfortably on vast estates, resistant to change and suspicious of reform. British politics reflected this conservatism. Parliament was dominated by landowners, who believed government existed only to preserve order, not to improve society. Innovation was dangerous. Even minor reforms, like changing the calendar or allowing Jews limited citizenship, sparked riots. And while Britain built a powerful war state, it neglected something crucial: its American colonies. The colonies had grown wealthy, confident, and self-governing. British officials misunderstood this reality. Communication was slow, administration was weak. Parliament assumed authority without understanding colonial life. Britain believed it ruled America. America believed it governed itself. This misunderstanding, born from victory, arrogance, and distance, would soon explode into crisis. Britain had defeated France. Britain ruled the seas and sang "Rule Britannia" with pride. But unknowingly, it was walking toward a war it could not win.